This video goes over integer multiplication and division. In my opinion, this is a lot easier than addition and subtraction. We're using the same cheat sheet where if you see the same sign between two numbers, your answer is going to be positive. If you have the opposite sign between the two numbers, your answer is going to be negative. Generally, I like to decide on positive or negative answer first and then actually do the multiplication or division. So for example, if I have negative 5 times 8, well, this 5 is negative, this 8 has no sign, so it's positive. Therefore, they are opposite, which means my answer will be negative. So I add a negative sign, and then I just do 5 times 8 is 40. Pretty simple. Negative 5 times negative 6. Remember how a number next to a parentheses means multiply, implies multiplication, even though there is a negative sign here. Don't confuse that with a minus sign. So the parentheses here, this is multiply. I have a negative times another negative. They are the same, so my answer is going to be positive. So positive 5 times 6 is 30. Or you just write 30. You don't need the plus sign there. Let's go 35 divided by negative 7. Again, no sign here, so it's positive. This 7 is negative, so my answer is going to be negative because opposite signs have a negative answer. 35 divided by 7 is just 5. And one more. Negative 12 divided by negative 4. I have a negative number and another negative number, so my signs are the same. If they're the same, my answer is positive. Right, negative divided by negative, the negatives cancel out, so my answer is positive. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Hopefully that's pretty simple. One thing I do want to go over is, for example, negative 1 squared versus negative 1 squared. All right, so these look very similar, but they give you different answers. Here, this negative sign, it's really like a negative 1 times 1 squared. And according to PEMDAS, we do the exponent before we multiply by a negative. So this is actually equal to negative 1 squared, like that. And 1 squared is 1, so this is negative 1. While here, we have the parentheses around the negative. So it forces us to square the entire negative number, right? Here we're only squaring the positive one. Here we're squaring the whole negative one. So this is equal to negative 1 times itself because it's squared. So this is equal to positive 1. So be careful when you have a negative number squared, right? Does it have parentheses? If it does, then it's actually the negative number squared. If it does not, like this, then you actually just square the positive base and then you add the negative sign at the end. That's a little tricky there. Let's try a few examples of that. So let's go with negative 3 squared. And then this will be negative 9, because we do 3 squared first, that's 9, and then put the negative sign in front. And then if I have negative 3 squared, this is negative 3 times itself, which gives us positive 9. And then one more pattern I want you to pick up. Negative 1 to the first power, negative 1 squared, negative 1 to the third power, negative 1 to the fourth, negative 1 to the fifth, negative 1 sixth. Negative 1 to the first power is just negative 1. Negative 1 squared is negative 1 times negative 1, which is positive 1. Negative 1 cubed is 3 of these, which is back to negative 1. And then hopefully you pick up on the pattern. Right? If you look at this, notice when the exponents are odd, and if you have a negative base and your exponent is odd, then your answer is negative. But with a negative base, if your exponent is even, because a negative times a negative is a positive, if you have even bases, your answer is actually going to be positive. So if I gave you -1 to the 231st power, you should be able to recognize that this exponent is odd, which means the answer ends up being -1. And then if I gave you -1 to the 508th power, that this exponent is even, with an even set of negative numbers, you end up with +1. All right, good luck on practice.